Hello everyone and welcome to the FAB Prize Ceremony 2022. We have got lots of lovely news to share today. It's been a very exciting selection process this year. Thank you for entering. Thank you for spreading the news about this prize too, because it grows bigger and better every single year. It makes our lives tougher because the judging is harder, but it is really great to see the reach of this prize and how it's having an effect on the industry. So without further ado, I would just like to thank all of the other judges. At FAB, Mo Hafiz joined us this year. Thank you, Mo. Emma Eldridge, of course, myself. At Apple, Donna Payne helped us judge. And two agents, of course, Davinia Andrew Lynch was involved as per usual from the Anne Lynn Literary Agency. And this year we were also joined again by Jasmine Richards from Story Mix. So thank you to all of you. I'd also like to thank our keynote speaker, Az Dasu. We are really honoured you could join us as today. And on with the show.
Hi, I'm Az, also known as AM Dasu, and I am so happy to be here with you on this very special day. Before I begin, I have to say a huge thanks to FABR for inviting me to the FAB Prize Award ceremony. Each year, excitement grows as the brilliant writers and illustrators are announced. The FAB Prize is a surefire way of finding the hottest talent, and it's a real joy to see the publishing journeys of alumni take off. So who am I? I am the author of Boy Everywhere and Fight Back, which you may have heard of, and I write both fiction and non-fiction. I'm just going to share a screen with you to show you what I've published. So 1 second. Okay, there you are. So these 7 books I've published in the last 2 years, and the 8th, Boot It, is my World Book Day book, which will be out in March next year. So as you can see, I've been very lucky to have written different types of books for all sorts of ages, and all sorts of genres. So how did all of this happen? Did it all just land on my lap, or was it a lot of hustle and graft? Yup, the latter. It was hard. All of those books are the culmination of lots of tears, frustration, and heaps of determination. I first started writing for children 8 years ago in 2015. I wrote a picture book inspired by my son's school friend, and I started looking into publishing it, and I realized that I had finally found the job that I loved, and I was desperate to get published. I honestly believed that I would be within the year, and boy was I wrong. One of the best things I did as a novice writer was to naively email Sheena Dempsey, who illustrates FABR's Dave Pigeon series, on her website. I emailed her and I asked her to illustrate my draft picture book. And she very kindly explained the process and told me that I'd need an agent first. She recommended I join the Society of Children's Book Writers and Illustrators, which is SCBWI, and added me to a very supportive Facebook group through which I met the most wonderful, encouraging people. See, so you are all way ahead of me. I didn't even know there were competitions and opportunities like this when I started out. And so I became an active SCBWI member. I worked up from being an events editor to deputy editor for its magazine, Words and Pictures. I soon learnt through the SCBWI and my own personal rejections that it was harder to get an agent for picture books than novels. So I started writing one. And it was inspired by a grooming case that I dealt with in court. Because I didn't know how to pace it, I stopped writing it after a few chapters. And then one day, an author put out a call to set up a critique group. I had no idea what one was, but I jumped in headfirst. We were asked to submit a chapter the following week for critique, and I wasn't sure about sharing the grooming story, but as I watched the news, I felt compelled to write a story about a boy who once had everything and who lost it all due to war. And I wanted to make a difference and challenge the negative narrative about refugees. So I wrote my first chapter. It was the boat scene, which is now in Boy Everywhere, and I submitted it. I got some good feedback, and that encouraged me to write the rest of the book. And I learned so much through that critique group. So my first bit of advice for any writer or illustrator starting out, or even a published writer or illustrator, is to make sure you have a good, supported network, and that you're regularly getting critique on your work. Join a group, share your work, be open to feedback, because you will be getting feedback and rejections for the rest of your life. And the more comfortable you are about this, the easier it is to progress in this journey, which is riddled with bumps. So I'd say, you know, attend conferences, try to get one-to-ones with agents and editors to get a sense of how your story might be received. And if no one bites, don't let that get you down, because all it means is your work might need a little bit of refining. And so that's exactly what I did. You know, if I'd given up with the critique that I got back in 2016, I would never have got published. And believe me, I rewrote Boy Everywhere several times and Fight Back. You know, it's all in the layering. So, you know, with each step of this process, just remember that if I could do this, somebody who had no idea how publishing worked, I know anyone can. So the crux of my journey is me trying again, because that is pretty much what a writer has to do over, or illustrator has to do over and over. When we write, we have to try again as we edit and finish our manuscripts. When we submit to agents, we try again when we're rejected. Then when our books go to publishers, it's unlikely to sell to the first publisher, so we try again with another publisher. And just like that, when you're starting out, it can feel like that's all you're ever doing. You know, that's all I have to do is pick myself up off the floor, scrape myself up and try again. But trust me, it's all good training for what's to come, because you will be trying again and again for the rest of your publishing life. Today, some of you will win and some of you will be commended, and that is truly, truly amazing, especially given the quality and talent of submissions. Some of you won't hear your name, but what you did is still amazing. And I'll tell you why. Because you got out of your comfort zone. You believed in yourself, your work, and you gave someone a chance to enjoy it. If it wasn't picked, it doesn't mean it's no good. All it means is, yeah, you got it, you need to try again. It may need reworking, it may have not connected with one of the early judges, but what it does not mean is that it's not worthy. You see, I was in your place back in 2015 and 2016. I was trying so hard to get published. I entered every competition I could. And, you know, I'll tell you about that a little bit later. I wasn't even listed for most, but I kept going, and here I am. And what I can say is that I put myself out there. You know, I did all of the short courses possible. I attended as many conferences and events I could to meet people face to face. I submitted to as many one-to-ones to improve my writing, and I kept going. So what have I learned? I'm going to share some tips with you. Publishing books is hard, but oh so rewarding. It really is the best job in the world. Just yesterday, I did a workshop in the school where the children were so affected by what I'd said that they came up one after the other asking me how they should deal with bullying. And in that moment, I knew that I'd done the right thing by pushing myself out of my boundaries and writing a book as challenging as Fight Back. I didn't listen to publishers or what industry people said. I wrote the book I thought was needed, and I can now see in real time in schools from my readers that it was. So my advice to you going forward is push boundaries. Try the things that people aren't writing. And if you're writing something that has been done, make sure you're doing it differently. And you can do that whatever genre you're writing, you know, whether it's contemporary, sci-fi, fantasy, comedy, picture books. Consider what's fresh and new about your character. What value is your book bringing to the already saturated market? How will it make readers feel? And what is it that you're trying to say with your story or your illustrations? Because no matter what you're writing or illustrating, you are definitely saying something. Sometimes we don't realize it until readers see it for us, but it's really good to sort of take your time and find that element of what you're trying to say and really sort of zone in on that and bring it out. And, you know, write the book you want to read and you think is needed. Sometimes agents and editors don't know if something will work until they've read it or seen it, but you can change minds. You know, because, I mean, that is what I did with Boy Everywhere and Fight Back. You know, I took a story that people thought might be something else, and it turned out to be something entirely different, and it changed people's minds. And I'm trying. Whether you win tonight or not, you're all going to be trying again. I mean, I'm trying again every day. You know, you're going to be submitting somewhere else, whether that's to agents or to publishers or to other competitions. Trying again is a good thing. It means you have the drive, the resilience, and the hope that is needed to survive in this industry. And as you go forward, be ready to edit a lot. Someone will tell you they didn't love your work. And believe me, that is something editors and agents do say. And you know what? I finally get it. You really have to like a book to buy it or represent it, because you have to read it over and over. I mean, even I get sick of reading my own book through the editing process. Honestly, it is so hard to read your novel or your chapter book or your picture book for the 25th time. So when someone tells you that they don't love your book, whether it's your first book as an unpublished writer or your 10th book as a published writer, don't take it to heart. It just means you didn't get it in front of the right person at the right time. Also, don't limit yourself. The world is your oyster. I was told I should stick to a brand and do one genre for my first 3 books. And, you know, that is great advice. But look at the range of books that I've published, and it's what I wanted to do. Next year, I will have published in every genre in the children's publishing, including picture books. And during this time, I figured out what I like to do. And I know what I want to do for the rest of my time. And I've been able to work with multiple publishers and had lots of fun. I didn't want to play it safe and do one thing, and that's fine. There is not one way of doing publishing. You can find your way. Also, one of the things that I will tell you is prepare for a lot of promo work. So write as much as you can while you can. All of those books that you saw on that screenshot are basically me having written them way before I was published. I wrote Fight Back straight after Boy Everywhere when it wasn't selling. A lot of the ideas that, you know, I'd written beforehand, which I'm using now, I'm going on submission with books that I'd written in 2016, because I've now got time and the sort of knowledge to see what I need to do with them. And I'm so glad that I have them all, you know, as a back catalogue to go back to, because launching a book is the hardest, most consuming time. And I really, really thought I was ready for it, but I was not. I didn't know how much energy a bookshop tour takes, or how tiring signing thousands of book plates can be, or how time-consuming booking school visits can be, and how you're left not wanting to write afterwards, and the impact that can have on your writing schedule. Of course, all of those things mean you get to meet your readers, and it's always worth it, but prepare yourself. So while you have the time before you're published, my main advice to you is write as much as you can, draw as much as you can, you know, so you've got something to go back to when your mind is frazzled and you're dealing with emails and publicity and, you know, editing, because you're going to be juggling so many things. And yeah, so as I said, hold on to everything that you write, because you can and you will use it somewhere. And eventually you will get it published. It, you know, it may not be its time. Like Boy Everywhere in 2016 was not my baby's time. You know, its birth was to be October 2020 in the height of lockdown. But who knew that would be its perfect time? You know, I didn't. I honestly believed it had to be published in 2016. And I'm really glad that it wasn't now, because I found the time to work on it and give it the attention that it needed. Also, on your journey, you're going to see a lot of people getting to places before you. And one of the things that really, really gets so many authors down that I know is comparing themselves to others. There will always be somebody getting another book deal, getting multiple book deals, winning prizes, awards, getting 6-figure advances. Just don't compare yourself to others. Honestly, always keep your eyes on your journey, because if you don't, you won't appreciate how far you've come. This industry can be so competitive, and with such few publishers, it can feel like, you know, only the few get it all, and there's going to be nothing left for you. But there is, and it will come to you. This is your journey. Just be patient, and on patience, be prepared to wait, because writing is waiting. You'll be waiting to hear back from agents. When you get an agent, you'll be waiting to hear back from them about whether your book is submittable. When it is, your agent will be waiting to hear back from editors. Then when an editor is interested, that editor will be waiting to hear back from their team, will also need to read it. And then if they love it, your editor will have to wait again till the acquisitions meeting. And if your book is bought, then you're going to be waiting again and again and again in between edits. It's the long game, and you have to be ready for the long haul. I finally understand why books take at least 2 years to get published, because so much work and love and energy is required for each book from so many people. And so today is a milestone in your journey as a writer, one that you will hold on to. The point where things started happening, either within your mind, your manuscript, or taking that step to getting an agent and a book deal. All of you here today are here because you are talented and deserve to be. Take heart in that and go forward with gusto. Don't let your mind tell you you are not enough, that it won't happen, because it will. It may not be tomorrow. It may not be next month or even next year, but when it happens, it will be the right time for you, and you will never look back. What you have before you is opportunity, and that, my friends, is the best thing. You are at the precipice of something incredible, and I will say, make the most of every single opportunity, because that is exactly what I did. From 2015 until today, I keep doing that. I just grasp every opportunity, from the starting point of, joining a critique group to ensure that I had lots of eyes on my writing before I submitted anywhere. I still do this. I still get lots of readers on my work. To going to courses or events, to meeting people, to applying to prizes, to getting your work in front of agents and editors, to writing as much as you can while you have the time. Those are all opportunities. Grab every single one. All of you who submitted today are winners. And I'll tell you why. I said I'd explain why. When I was starting out, I submitted to every competition I found. And I mean everything. Winchester, Dyslexia, SCBWI, you name it. And my manuscript was never selected, not once. And I got disheartened. But I told myself I might have some work to do on it, but also the reader probably just didn't connect to my story. And so I kept working on my manuscript again and again. And I sent it to more readers, trying to figure out what was up with it. And that's how I made progress, because no one is successful first time. Usain Bolt didn't win his first race first time. He got up every day and trained, and he did it over and over and over. And that's what we writers have to do with every book, to be honest. So you're winning today because you've submitted your work and you did it. You got yourself out there. My manuscript for Boy Everywhere was not listed anywhere. And now it has been listed. Boy Everywhere has been listed for 25 awards, including the Carnegie, the Waterstones Book Prize. It's on the curriculum in schools. It's found its readers eventually. I had no idea how far it could go back then. I just wanted a few readers. So I truly believe it was because I believed in my story. And I promised myself I wouldn't give up on it. And that's what I want you to take with you today. I want you to go forth and believe in your work and do everything in your power to make sure that it is the best it can be. Even if it takes years to get there like it did for me, you will find your readers. And I look forward to the day when I see it on bookshelves. So I'm going to leave you with the hugest of congratulations. And I'm sending you all the best writing luck as you go forward in your publication journey. Be proud of what you've achieved today and look forward to what is to come. Take care. Bye.
Hi guys, my name is Jill McCurdy and I'm one of the FAB Prize winners of 2020. First of all, I want to say a big congratulations to our winners in advance. I'm so happy for you guys. Loads of amazing things that happened for me since I won the FAB Prize a couple of years ago. And I can't believe our time has flown. So I know amazing things are going to happen for you guys as well. I can't wait to see it. And congrats to everyone who even entered the prize, because that's a major big step in your journey. So congrats to you all, first of all. So for me, I can't believe it's been 2 years now since I won. But a lot's happened. I'm now a published author, which is really cool. My book came out this year, actually, in August. And I'm with FAB as well, because they're the best. So yeah, that's the major thing that's happened to me since I won the prize. I'm also working on book 2 now for Me and the Lightcasters, which is going really well. I'm having a whole lot of fun. And yeah, there's been a lot going on. I've been doing school trips, I've been doing library visits. It's honestly been amazing, and the FAB team have been just the best. So like I said, you guys have done a major justice for yourselves by entering this amazing competition. And yeah, so I guess my major advice for anyone who's in their writing journey right now and who ends up signing a book deal and all that good stuff, I think the main thing for me would be, I think, setting yourself deadlines. I don't know if you guys have been doing that already, but honestly, before I was published and before I even had an agent or anything, I would set myself little deadlines to do. So if when I was writing my first book many years ago, I would set a deadline like, okay, I need to write 2,000 words each day, even if it's a whole lot of rubbish. There's something, but obviously it depends on people's different circumstances. But for me, writing 2,000 was doable. So I'll do that, and then every day, and then sometimes every time I completed it, I would reward myself. Like at the end of a week, if I stuck to that deadline, I would reward myself with a bubble tea, but it could be anything. But practicing having deadlines for different things when it comes to writing 100% helped me out by the time I did get editors. I have two. I have one in the US and then one in the UK that work together. It helped me out a lot. Because then by the time I'd like fully edited book 1 with my editors, I'd already written the first draft of book 2. So like getting ahead of the game is definitely something I would recommend to you guys. And then as well as that, I would say celebrate the small wins, like no matter what, because in this publishing game, you know how hard it is. But celebrating the small wins. You guys enter the competition, that's a win because you're putting your work out there. You win the competition, that's even better. Like any competition I'd entered before, like the FAB Prize, I didn't even get to like the long list. So I can't believe that I actually ended up winning the FAB Prize. So that's nuts. So like I said, congrats to all of you who just entered anyway, because you're putting yourself out there, you're putting your work out there, and every time you do it, your work gets better each time. So yeah, celebrate the small wins, and like it's just enjoy it. You know, it's really hard when you're doing it fully published, because obviously the deadlines come in, the high expectations, you have other people inputting in your work. But try and enjoy every step of it. It will be hard, it will be stressed, but definitely enjoy the journey and celebrate yourself, because you guys are amazing. What else will I give advice for? I think as well as that, as well as the glitz and the glamour that publishing can sometimes have, it's okay to kind of, because everyone faces rejection, it's okay to sit in those feelings and not bottle it up, because that's one of the worst things you can do is bottle it up. So if you have someone, whether it's a fellow writing group or even a family member, friends who aren't even involved in writing anyway, reach out to them, let them know how you're feeling, just get it out, like don't bottle it in. And it's okay to be upset if you get a rejection over a query letter or a fall, or even if you don't get into the next step of the competition. It's okay to be sad, because everyone's been there. I've been there. But just know you will get there. It took me 10 years to be a published author. So if that's anything to go by, it's like never ever give up, because you guys got this, okay? And congrats once again to the winners. Like, it's so cool, amazing. I can't wait to see who wins. So congrats, and congrats to everyone who entered. Thank you so much. I'll see you guys later. Bye.
Hello, my name is Ngadi Smart. I'm an illustrator, and I entered the 2025 prize and won first place under the illustration category. Since winning the FAB Prize, I have illustrated a book for FAB's children entitled Musical Truth, musical history of modern Black Britain in 25 songs, written by Jeffrey Boachi. I have done various editorials for The Guardian, Penguin, also WeTransfer, and I'm currently working on various book covers for a client. Entering the FAB Prize and winning took me by surprise and definitely gave me so much confidence in my work and in continuing the work. I would advise anyone in the industry to just keep working, and to also reach out to people who you feel would be interested in the work that you do. I feel like that would be the most important thing to keep going. Thank you very much.
And in joint second place for text, FAB Prize 22, is Hannah Akekwe, with her text called Gum. The judges said, Hannah's writing is so intriguing and assured, setting up a cast of characters and a teen mystery which carefully but thoroughly draws you in. Certainly a name to watch out for in the teen YA market going forward. Many congratulations, Hannah. And in joint second place for text, FAB Prize 22, is Shireen Lajli with her So Devon Wore a Skirt. What a joy this picture book is, said the judges. It made us smile every time we returned to it. A heartwarming and impactful conceit executed with a joyful lightness of touch. It felt easy and effortless, but anyone who has ever tried to write a picture book knows that the exact opposite is true. Just wonderful. Many, many congratulations, Shireen. Oh, it's lovely to meet you. It really is. I love your space. It's beautiful. Your foliage. Yeah, well, it's really great to meet you like this because actually I've got some lovely news.
Oh, okay.
You have won a first prize in our FAB Prize 22.
Serious? Oh my goodness. I'm shocked.
Oh, you weren't expecting that. Okay, that's good.
Hi.
Oh,
Thank you. Oh my gosh, that's wonderful news. I seriously am shocked. I feel a bit numb right now.
oh, let me tell you what the judges said.
Okay.
What a joy Louis' storytelling is. Puffin, the Legend of Linger Island, is perfectly pitched for young readers, with a lead character who is charming, determined, and fun. The sample is commercial, warm, and humorous. We engage with the characters immediately and can't wait to see what Louis does next.
Oh my goodness.
Many congratulations.
Oh, thank you so much. That's really great news.
There was so much tough competition this year. We say that every year, but it does seem to get harder and harder to judge. So many congratulations. That's
Oh no,
really
thank you
brilliant.
so much. Thank you so much for the opportunity. I'm just a bit stunned. Just thank you. Thank you to the judges. Thank you to the FAB organizations.
Oh, that was great. Thank you. Today, FABE would also like to award the Publishers' Prize to two literary talents, Nazima Kaur Pathan and Gayatri Kamalakanthan. Many, many congratulations. And the second prize for illustration for FAB Prize 22 goes to Juan Hui. The elegant sophistication of your art really excited us, said the judges. We could see you working across the age groups, from picture book to graphic novel to YA. Your artwork has such an arresting, surreal quality, it stood out immediately. We found your approach exciting, fresh, surprising and evocative. Many, many congratulations, Juan Hui. So yeah, thank you for meeting with us today. Thank you very much for entering the prize. We had great fun judging it. We're calling up a number of people, but actually we've got some really nice news for you today. You have won first prize.
Oh my God! Thank you so much. It's amazing. Thank you.
So hence the subterfuge.
Thank you so much.
Many congratulations. You are our art prize winner for FAB 22.
Oh my God. Thank you.
Would you like to know what the judges said about your work?
Yes, please. That would be so helpful.
We said, we were smitten from the off. There is so much personality and verve to your characters. We could see them instantly in a picture book. We loved your colour palette and the confidence of your bold black outlines. There was a quirkiness and stylishness to your designs that really made you stand apart. We absolutely loved the crackling energy and humour here.
Oh, amazing.
Many congratulations. Don't know if you were expecting that, but you are definitely our winner.
Oh, thank you.
And so before we finish today, I'd just like to give a final congratulations to all our winners. Congratulations too to all you who've entered. It really was a tough competition this year. Please do continue spreading the word and enter again next year, because we do know that many past entrants have gone on to win in subsequent years. And I wanted to also just leave you with a couple of highlights of books coming up. Sarah Christou's picture book that she has written and illustrated herself is out next January, one of our many past winners. We've got the FAB Book of Bedtime Stories, which is just out in bookshops, all good bookshops near you. Many past winners are included here. I'm sure you'll have seen Jeffrey Boach's book, illustrated by Ngadi Smart, beautifully. Ngadi was, I think, last year's winner. And Akran Girmay, of course, is illustrating many of the Jason Reynolds novels, and his work is also going down a storm. Someone has snaffled my copy of Janelle McCurdy's Me and the Lightcasters, but I'm sure you've seen that across social media. So yes, this could be you. Please do keep creating and enjoying and loving the work you do. See you next year.